This is Boromina, a land once whole, now divided by primordial conflicts dating back thousands of years. Its four nations have been coexisting in a fragile peace for centuries. But can they truly stand alone when ancient threats come back to haunt them? From the sand dunes and scattered oases of Luxoria to the tropical fade jungles and scenic coastline of Honhop, the rolling green hills and towering cliffside peninsula of Maidea, to the stormy mountains and etheric wasteland of Perian. An alchemist, an acolyte, a knight, and an abolitionist must work together to preserve the world as they know it. These are the lands that make us.
There is one final sound that each of you hear. It is a loud screaming. Plato, I think yours, it fights through the water. It sounds garbled. You can barely hear it, but it's still there. It is a sound of pain. Sherrilyn, yours is a sound of rage as all of these forces give off this noise. Francis, you hear the sounds of whimpering and no more sounds coming from your direction as it goes silent. None of these voices are present after this final round of jarring sound.
All right, well, the shorter time we spend here, I feel the better for everyone, so let's just be careful and get us through this cursed darkness.
If there's just this moment of like tepid silence, like hesitation to see if the noise starts again, wondering if it was ever real to begin with. She looks again at the shadow that was trying to cut its own throat. Is it still smiling at her?
As you look down at the shadow, it looks completely normal, faded a bit, mimicking your actions in the light.
Right. Sir Thon is correct. We should stay together and move as quickly as possible through this space before those things come back.
Where is Rourke right now?
He's breathing very heavily. Sherrilyn kind of led him back to the group. He's on the outfray of the group right now, kind of rubbing his eyes and exhaling. His horse is a little panicky under his foot right now, having also lost its vision in the water. I will say, as you all get closer and further north here, you see a sunken great structure made of the same ruins the Sungate was.
Plato's head is still in that bucket unless anyone is telling him otherwise. And I think actually, as he keeps it in there, because I don't think he's fully done this before, as he's like in there and he desperately does not want to leave that space, he feels his ability to breathe water as a water genasi working for him, as almost Gil like he feels water, the oxygen sort of rush in through his neck, and finds that he doesn't need to remove his head from the barrel.
Come, Rourke. Sherrilyn will again go to Rourke's location, and she will take the reins of his horse and sort of fist them with Harkins so that she could lead the two of them alongside. Just, she would say to him, it takes some time to recover from this ailment, I believe. It is dark and I am still having trouble, but you will have some semblance of sight soon. I promise.
Something must be responsible for this. There must be some sort of force here.
Yes, whatever those whispering demons are, I'm sure are responsible.
We should kill them, regain our sight, end this blight.
I know the light didn't work for us so much the last time we were in the dark, but maybe that is what it's called for right now?
Or would it make them more upset? Cast larger shadows?
At the mention of larger shadows, Inara shuts up immediately. Like, that's not something she wants to risk at all.
Perhaps instead of taking radical action, we should venture either through or further in to see if and how we can rid the world of this.
Sir Thon has been an assured wayfinder. Perhaps you should lead us.
But stay close, and we should make sure to avoid the water as much as possible. Is there a way to keep the horses clear of them? She looks to Sherrilyn, asking you if you... Like, she's holding the reins out to you. She's like, I don't trust myself. I was doing fine, but I don't think I should be in charge right now. And she offers to switch with you so that she could lead the 2 horses alongside the cart while you lead the cart itself.
You see, my experience is upon horseback, not directing a carriage.
Who... It was Plato that was helping her drive earlier, correct?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Has our cart taken up movement yet? I'm assuming yes. It doesn't seem like we want to linger.
Once we get Rourke onto the cart and like lead him back there by you, I guess, with your head dunked in the barrel. Having seen how you responded when Francis tried to pat you on the back, and I was going to, for once, respect your personal space and just leave you be.
Yes, I think after a moment, I remove my head.
What is going on? You hear Mikkel from one of the cots, his eyes kind of opening wider, seeing Plato. Leilani sits up as well, having kind of fully taken in that Plato's head is just dunked in a huge barrel of water there, as they look towards each other. Mikkel kind of comes over to you, Plato, and kind of like pats you on the back. Plato?
Don't touch. I pull my head out and I just like slosh, and there's just like wet from like the top of my shoulders down. It stopped. Thanks the warden. I think he goes and sits on whatever chair is nearby and just like puts his head in his hands.
They both look very confused as they look at each other and then you.
We need to leave this place. It is full of ghosts.
Okay. Mikkel heads towards the front of the cart. I can help drive.
That is well. There, you see, Inara, more helping hands.
In front of you all, you have 40 feet of dark vision, anyone with dark vision ahead of you in this space, as more and more of the ruins in front of you come into view. It is this grand sunken plaza, this once great oasis filled with the statues and different reliefs kind of carved all throughout, now broken apart and smashed. There is a large pathway of water that seems to be a sunken pool, but alongside this, there are 2 thinner paths of this material, the same kind of Sungate material that seems to be sunken temple, kind of collapsed into these pathways. You think you can barely fit the cart without getting into the water along the right one of these. It's just a little bit wider than the left one on the sides of the path here as you continue forward. And then there is more water on either side of this. The water on the left and right of these pathways does not look like an intentional sunken pool, but rather a flooded area, flooded oasis land. And it is just teeming with like snake plants and all of these other cacti-like plant material that comes into view, all colorless, but filling these pools. The center pool is completely devoid of all plant life, and you can barely fit the cart. It'll fill the cart entirely of the space. If you do so, you'll have to stay completely narrow. Avoid driving the cart into the water at all.
Does not offer much maneuverability, but perhaps our only choice forward.
Should just take it slow and keep going, and she'll definitely accept Mikkel's help to like maneuver this whole ensemble.
Shall Rourke and I ride ahead of you so that we may see where the cart is going to the best of our abilities? She'd add dryly.
Inara pauses for a second at the concept of sending the 2 blind people to lead the way, but also she looks to Rourke and goes, maybe, are you sure you could handle another attempt to trick you?
Hey, I think we proved to whatever force this is that we are not so susceptible. I'm sure they will try something else, Rourke says as he kind of like looks around, a little panicked.
Just stay vigilant. Are you sure?
Okay. Sorry.
I don't know. She looks behind her worriedly, not feeling brave enough to approach him right now because he's like a raw nerve, he feels like, and she doesn't want to risk it.
You could go and stay in the cart with him if you are concerned. Might be better for your safety.
Are you saying this to Inara or Rourke?
No, to Rourke.
Yeah, maybe I should go up ahead with Sherrilyn.
Yes. I would offer you my horse, but he's not doing so great. Here, I'll attach him to the front of the cart. Yes, I can help Mikhail steer. Well, I'll happily swap. It would be great. Yeah, Rourke kind of gets down. He's still rubbing his eyes, but they're very quickly adjusting to the darkness of this cursed oasis. The sunlight just barely able to peek through.
Come,
He'll-
Inara, hop on.
Completely familiar with this position now, Inara jumps up behind Sherrilyn on her horse.
Now you may have to direct me just a little bit.
She's got her head out sideways, peeking from behind your armored torso, and she's definitely keeping an eye out in all directions, especially towards the water edge.
Be on the lookout for more of those words as well.
Absolutely.
They'll ride around the cart out in the front as the caravan continues onward towards this extraordinarily narrow pathway.
Hell yeah.
Getting into danger.
I will say passively, you don't see any more of the words, but the word news sticks with you for a little bit. Yeah, you don't see any more words.
Plato has taken out the music box that Inara made for him now that he's to help him calm down, and he's playing it, beginning to look a little bit embarrassed, trying to sit very straight.
Do we hear you hyperventilating?
Nope, just listening to the thunder. My eyes are closed.
Francis, are you horseback?
No, he's going to be riding in the front of the cart.
Got it. With Mikhail, and Leilani is in the back of the cart with Plato. As you all begin to scale these narrow sideways, pretty slowly. The horses are a little nervous, but they are the war horses of Medea, so they do continue nonetheless.
We don't want to be too far ahead of the cart in case those shadow things come back and try to nab us. So, how far was Rourke before when he was almost taken by his?
Say a good 50 feet.
So, less than 50 feet for sure.
Within direct eye shot.
Yeah, you can see about 40 feet ahead of you.
Yeah, that's fine. And then if we start to see, we will continuously check to see if the smiling, creepy shadows come back. And if they do, then we will fall back towards the group.
Oh yeah, Inara is definitely keeping an eye on the ground where her shadow's being cast, if she can see it.
Roll me a perception check, both of you.
Ooh, only a 2 + 2 for 4.
Inara got 10 plus 2, so 12.
Both of your
sense.
shadows seem completely normal as you keep good track of them. I don't know if we caught me rolling there too.
We'll definitely stay within the 25 feet of the front of the cart.
Sounds good. But everyone continues moving. There's sounds of kind of water moving to the left of you. There does seem to be some sort of flow to this oasis water. Dark, murky water. There are remnants of some sort of boat structure or raft kind of torn apart to the side of it here as you all begin to pass by. A lot of the ruins are still intact and beautiful, but sunken and at a diagonal here as you all continue marching forward. Sherrilyn, you see another burst of color begin to pop into your view as you all continue moving forward. In the center of the pool of water here, there is a glowing purple orb that seems to radiate this darkness.
Yeah, I have to imagine that color is very obvious to her, even with that low perception check. I have to imagine it's very obvious when everything's essentially been grayscale for 12 hours now or something like that. So she notices this glowing spot of color out towards the water, and she says to Inara, I see another something. I don't think it's a sigil. It's out in the water.
Inara immediately looks over, squinting. Does she notice anything distinctive about it?
I mean, it's magic as hell. It's definitely this glowing, floating, magical orb of like this purple darkness that seems to like radiate energy from it, and not good energy.
The fur on the back of Inara's neck seems to stand as she whispers, "This cannot be good."
Is it solid, the orb, or does it look like it's made out of pure ether?
It's really hard to tell. It looks like it's occupying both shapes at once. You'd have to get closer, especially in the darkness, to inspect it further. You'd have to get in the water, even.
That's definitely not happening. I'm looking at my inventory to see if I have anything that would help me here.
Are you just trying to reach out and get the orb?
Well, we're trying to ascertain what it is and what it's made out of, if it could be destroyed or
Definitely don't want to go close to it.
not after what we saw happen with Rourke.
I mean, I have 50 feet of hope.
Does anyone here have protection from good and evil?
No on my side. I can detect good and evil, but I think we all know what's around us.
He says evil, I would say.
Yeah.
I could use divine sense, and maybe that would tell us something. And it's got a range of 60 feet. I think she would motion over her shoulder for the carriage to halt as they're drawing up kind of alongside this orb thing. And she would dig deep into her intuition, sensing the presence of evildoers. Yeah, she's the charge of divine sense.
Yeah, absolutely. Immediately, you get 5 pings right away. The most powerful of which is definitely the orb. The orb is radiating this aura very, very similar to a deconsecration aura. It seems like whatever this object is actively deconsecrating this place, cursing this oasis. It seems to be in some way, shape, or form responsible for the curse that's befallen this place. Your divine sense also triggers on your shadow, Inara's shadow, Plato's shadow, Francis' shadow, and Work's shadow. As it seems they went nowhere, they just did a better job at pretending. As they lie in wait, they become obvious to you.
Those shadow demons are still upon us, so be wary. And that orb thing.
I think in that moment, they're gonna go ahead and reach out and attack, because we can go ahead and roll some initiative as they realize they've lost all element of surprise.
The jig is up.
As your eyes glow and you look directly at them and begin to warn them. They're like, "Oh fuck!" As they all just storm up, taking your shape, beginning to rise on you. You see yourself in shadow mirrored in front of you as their hands go to each of your necks. I need you all to roll me initiative.
That was my fault for insulting their intelligence and self-awareness. My bad.
Did you think they did not have ears?
That's a great way just to kick off initiative.
I apologize, everyone. This one is on me.
I imagine I'm in the back of the cart looking with my head in my hands, and I just see my shadow down on the floor in front of me, smile and stab up.
Surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, they look exactly like you, just as a reminder. Sherrilyn, however, yours is not on horseback. Seems that whatever this is they cannot mimic the horses. Yours, it does spawn like on the ground and is like reaching up.
Excellent.
Wonderful.
Step on my head.
Mikkel and Lonnie do not have shadows that appear.
I was going to ask and say it's a good thing Plato's back there.
Thank God, yeah.
They also didn't hear anyone scream.
But Rourke did. Interesting.
Perhaps they are not yet traumatized? No. Everyone is traumatized.
I find that hard to believe.
But I think it just has to be someone who's died, not just like a trauma. Death domain shit.
Yes, Sherrilyn got an 11. Harkin got a 10. Sherrilyn was Spider-Man pointing at her shadow, so to speak.
Inara got an 18 plus 2, so 20.
Francis got 12 plus 2 for 14.
Plato got a 10.
Yes, Harkin has no dexterity modifiers, so...
So we are putting the Plato before the horse?
Yes, Plato should go before the horse.
Right. As Sherrilyn uses her paladin eyes to sense these creatures' lasting presence, and they spring into action, trying to maintain any semblance of surprise. Inara, that brings us to you. As yours springs to life, you see that the shadowy cat ears, the same height as you, it kind of has to jump up a little bit to try and grab around your neck as you're currently a broad Harkin. What do you do?
I think seeing it leap at her immediately and the fact that it looks so much like her will startle Inara, and like a quick firebolt just seems to escape her hands as she reacts with a cantrip without even thinking of casting a spell.
All right, that is going to be a disadvantage because it is within 5 feet of you at present.
Damn it. Okay, a disadvantage, that was a 7 plus 5, so that's a 12 to hit.
12 will hit.
Watch her, mind the hair.
And that is 4 points of fire damage.
As the fire damage pulses throughout the shadow beast, it doesn't seem to have actual flesh or mass to burn away, but it does lighten it a little bit here, as it doesn't seem to take the full damage from the fire, but it does take some damage there.
Well, they're definitely not corporeal. There's nothing to burn. She calls out as she sees the flame sort of, I guess, like go through the darkness as it dissipates instead of hitting a solid object.
When the
Go ahead.
fire hits it, Bobby, is it similar to when we fought that like first big guy at the peace meet?
Yeah, the way the energies interact is very, very similar for sure. Inara, anything else in your go?
She looks a little flabbergasted, not knowing how to fight something incorporeal. I mean, she's on the horse with Sherrilyn. No, I think that's it for her.
Right. That brings us to Rourke's shadow. As it flies forward, wrapping its hands around his neck, attempting to both pull him from the cart and strangle him, it is going to use its strength drain attack. That's going to be an 18 to hit, which will hit, as he is going to take 2d6 necrotic damage. 6, 7, 8. That's going to be 8 points of necrotic damage. Ooh, there's no saving throw to this, and his strength is reduced by 3. As you watch the shadow of Rourke just drain the essence out of him, his muscle loses some definition. His being is weakened as he's being choked out by these shadowy talons of his shadow form, which is going to end that shadow's turn, which brings us to Inara's shadow. As it is going to strike back, its face lit up by this fire, the details of your nose and eyes obvious to you. Inara, as it is going to attempt to drain the life out of you here. That is going to be a natural 20.
I have those silvery bobs.
Okay. Yes,
Oh, my
absolutely. The
goodness.
accordion door is open. You can see Inara clearly as you watch this shadow just perfectly wrap its Inara like paws around Inara's neck and lift her off the horse. You can see the damage this thing will do as you cast silvery barbs.
I just managed to lift my hand up my water arm as this thing is strangling me against the cart, and I look through it to see the future I want and select it away.
All right, that's going to be a 12 on the die, plus 4 for a 16 total.
Yeah, that hits. That meets.
Interception.
Ooh.
We are virtually on top of each other. I would be remiss if I did not raise my shield in my lady's defense.
As you break into the shadow's grip here, what does this look like as the hands are wrapped around the neck? How do you disrupt? How do you get in the way here?
Given the limited range of motion here, as Inara is behind her, I think she would push her arm backwards and use the strength of her elbow to try and pry these shadow arms away, like pushing away the mist that is their being from her neck.
Heck yeah. You fight it back and get yourself in the way there as it kind of lashes out at you. That's going to be 4 points of necrotic damage.
She's going to take none, as I rolled 5 plus 2 for 7 negated damage.
Okay. As you block it completely, you do feel this pulse fill you for just a second as something in it connects with you, and you're going to take a -1 to your strength score.
This is going to be a fun one.
That's all right. I'm plenty strong anyway. Plenty to go around.
Show off.
That brings us to the shadow of Francis, who forms kind of like legs against the top of the cart here at a diagonal as he's like pushing down on Francis's neck from the back as he tries to dig his nails in through the front. That's going to be
I'm definitely going to ward and flare that for disadvantage.
Hell yeah. Okay, I will go ahead and roll a disadvantage then. Yeah, I rolled a 7 on both die there. So that's going to be 7 plus 4 for 11 total.
That will not connect.
As it is trying to wrap its around, the warding flare kind of fends it off as you see the shadows. The entire head of this Francis dissipates under the intensity of your light, and its hands kind of slithered back from your neck as it uses this shadow to reform, kind of slimming its figure as your head reappears in shadow form from it as it misses completely. Francis, what's your dexterity?
14.
All right, you are currently tied with Plato's shadow. Let's do a d20 roll to see who goes first. All right, I got a 15.
8.
Okay, that is going to be Plato's shadow, which rushes across the cart here and is going to try and choke him. That's going to be a 14 on the die for 18 total.
That'll hit.
All right, that is going to be 9 points of necrotic damage and a -3 from your strength score. As you just feel this essence leave you, your power.
I'm not very strong.
It's okay, you didn't have to hit anyone anyway.
At what point can you no longer stand up straight, I wonder?
Everything on you feels heavier. That brings us to Francis.
Yeah, Francis, after like fending off the attack from his own shadow, is gonna look at like the dissipated face of it. That is an awful imitation, I'll have you know. And he's going to take out the censer. He will start like swinging it towards the shadow, but then, as with before, it'll start glowing with the rosary beads, and he's going to then like take it above his head as he uses his channel divinity for Radiance of Dawn.
Hell yeah, and that's 30 feet? Yeah, that's all of them,
Any
Whoa.
Is this a con save?
Yeah, con save.
Whoa! Have you been able to do this the whole time?
He's done it before. 10,
Yeah, I did during the Jackal Ware fight.
18.
I got it mixed up with that spell you kept doing that Rob hated.
That's next.
10, 18, 18, 5, 10, 18, and 3.
Only the 18s pass.
Sounds good. That's going to be Plato and your shadow. Go ahead and roll me that bad boy radiant damage. And anyone who saves still takes half, right?
Yeah. So it's going to be 15 on those who didn't save, and then 7 if they did.
So 7. Okay, so Francis, they fucking hate the radiant energy that disperses from you. They are vulnerable to it. So the ones who failed are taking 30 points of radiant damage here. Which
What?
was 3 of them who failed?
Yeah, only Plato and Francis would have saved.
Yeah. So Rourke, Inara, and Sherrilyn's shadows are annihilated in an instant under this intense light. They're just completely cleared from the field here.
Thank you.
As the light pulses from you, amplified by this holy artifact in your hand, as it kind of like pulses internally through it and then pulses out forward as you fill this area with your beautiful light. These shadows look in your direction and then just burn in the holy radiant light to nothingness as they are completely cleared away. The shadow behind you, Francis, and the one next to Plato are just these single strands of black shadow floating in the air, barely hanging on to whatever life remains in them.
I look out from within the cart as Francis becomes a silhouette, just absolutely covered in radiance, burning all shadows away from him.
Yeah, and another effect of this is that any darkness, magical and normal, within that 30-foot radius is dispelled.
As you see the life and color return to the plant life around you, as the daylight once again returns to this area of 30 feet, these shadows kind of like hiss as the sunlight touches them, as this area looks like the beautiful desert you just left, no longer devoid of color or darkness.
Sorry, Sherrilyn.
You see Rourke kind of wince as the light hits his eyes. Any bonus action or movement, Francis?
No, he's gonna just stay there and like look at the like little like slither of shadow that remains.
You think you can make out a frown. Sherrilyn, that's your go.
Damn it, Francis. Well, now that the sunlight has returned, I cannot see.
Would you
the
rather I
enemy-
have left them there?
Well, now that the enemy is not directly in front of me, I won't be able to see them for a ranged attack either. So, yes, this does change my entire turn. Francis, you were in the coach seat, correct?
Yeah, with Mikkel.
They are hardly alive. And Sherrilyn had not sensed any other creatures that were already in this space when she had used her divine sense before. Now, when these shadows are dissipated, does she feel any strange aura exuding from the orb then that is still in the river beside them?
Is your divine sense still active?
No, but would she be able to maybe see an item of darkness that is close to her in proximity? Like, is it pulsating? Or
it's
anything
been
like
pulsating this whole time, but it doesn't like change. It as you like glance over, it remains consistent in what it looks like. I will say though, as it's like turning around, you do see a small like reflection. It seems to reflect the water beneath it It also seems to reflect something on the wall on the opposite side of it for just a second as it rotates. You again catch just a spot of red. And your eye line kind of follows that. And you see on the wall, carved in with a dagger, is the letter S.
She will draw Inara's attention to this sigil, as she is still able to see where Sherrilyn really is hindered at this point. There, across the way, my lady, do you see it?
Inara immediately whips her head around, starts to crane her neck closer and squint her eyes, trying to make out any more details. Yes, I do see what you... I see what you mean.
What did you say? An S like south?
And
Like
sure,
news.
yeah.
News, north, east, west, south.
Oh.
Oh!
Yes, so as not to waste the opportunity of her turn, though, is she still able to see this shadow that is aberrating in front of Francis well enough to potentially throw a magicked javelin at it?
You just have to use either your bonus action or your reaction that turn to focus your eyesight in order to be able to see in bright or dim light.
Oh, so you gotta take like a steady aim action. Interesting.
It was really, really annoying to have to do for all the dirty rowdy boys. They did not have the reactions for most of that fight.
Yes, she's gonna opt to use her reaction to focus up. The javelin comes into her hand as she rotates the horse so that she has enough range of motion to throw this thing. She needs her bonus action to cast divine favor on herself, which until the spell ends, her attacks are going to deal an extra 1d4 radiant damage. Thinking after their last fight that perhaps no other damage would even be able to do anything to them. And then she will take a ranged attack at this aberrant that is barely clinging to life in front of Francis. That's going to be a 18 to hit.
Okay, so that definitely hits, and Francis has left this thing with 2 health and has vulnerability to radiant damage. So no matter what, you do kill this thing. So what does this look like as your spear courses across with some of this holy light in itself?
I love light.
I like to think from Francis's perspective, he's just completely annihilated, like Thanos snapped all of these enemies. And just as he is appreciating his own good work, the javelin whizzes past his head, stabbing through this one in front of him, and he goes, as it like shrivels up into mist and then nothing. As she again finishes one of the kills that should rightfully be Francis's. She gives him a smirk from across the field.
Francis just looks back and just sees her squinting.
Francis started this fight with a quadra kill. All right, Plato, that's your go. The only foe that remains is your own shadow. It looks like you. Its eyes weathered. Its arm somehow like looser shadow, mimicking your own water arm as it attempts to strangle you. What do you do?
A Lusa Weta shadow. Yes, I am so mad, such a raw nerve as I was previously described by what happened, that you see I lash out. There's the energy in my arm glows and sort of ripples up to my shoulder and seems to sort of break containment into my neck for a moment. The Lichtenberg figure breaking out of that cuff that sort of connects the arm to my body my eyes glow and the psychic wave courses through the shadow. I'll see if it can take psychic damage. I'm going to cast Tasha's Mind Whip for the first time, if it can give me an intelligence saving throw.
Yeah, absolutely.
My eye on that side bulges, Akira-esque or eel-like, perhaps.
Okay, so that's the lowest roll I've ever gotten.
It must be a 1.
So I rolled a 1 on the die and it has a -2. We got a -1.
It hurt itself in its confusion.
Yes. I am rageful for these things.
Is it possible? How much damage does this spell do?
3d6. It's a second level spell.
Okay, well, it does have 2 HP remaining because of Francis's beautiful bright light.
Well,
So
yeah, I think I can't roll lower than a 3, right? 3d6?
yep, so this is also dead without needing to roll. But I would love to know how much damage it would have done.
I rolled 2 6s and a 3.
Okay, so yeah, that would have been 15 damage.
Yes.
That would have been pretty good. What does this look like as you tear this shadow apart?
I think it just psychically. I mean, how do you do psychic damage to a shadow? I think actually, I think it is Plato's shadow, and we see it as Plato's shadow, and then we see it mutate from the arm and sort of become horrible, but only in silhouette, and then it just sort of bursts and is gone.
Amazing. And we leave combat. The brightness of the day above hitting you all now as you remain in this dispelled sphere of Francis's bright light. Kind of all of you take a deep breath in. Some of you weaker still than before the fight. You see Rourke kind of breathing heavy, like looking himself over.
I also have been weakened, and there was damage done to me.
Wait, does anything change about the orb when the sunlight hits it?
It's too far away from the orb. It's only that 30-foot radius around.
Okay, around you?
Just from that spot. All the darkness is dispelled from that area in particular.
Well, I certainly hope you have another one of those for later.
I wish I did too.
Well, forget about later. Inara points towards the orb. I was like, what if we try to attack that with your light?
Unfortunately, that is all I can do for now, but I do have other utilities in my arsenal, if you would say.
Well, I have another 45 seconds, Sir Thon, if you would give me back my javelin.
Oh, yes, but thank you for not hitting me with this, with your impaired vision.
Yes, niceties later. As she takes back her javelin, she would harken back into the darkness so she can actually see. And she's going to try throwing this javelin with radiance on it at the orb that's just hanging out in the water, I think, just to see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and roll me to hit.
It's very assuring noise.
This can only go so well.
Yeah, is the javelin a returning javelin, or?
Oh, no, it's not.
Oh boy.
Yeah, when Inara sees you drawing back to hit, or just to launch it, she goes, maybe we should tie a rope around it if you want this back, because I don't think we should venture into the water to retrieve it. We don't know if this is going to work or not.
4 others.
Okay, then.
Plus, if the rope is wet and then we touch the water, then more of us may turn out blind. And never mind. Now, let me focus so that I can make this shot, please. She rolled a 10 on the nose to hit this orb with a javelin.
It goes wide, and it actually lodges itself into the wall next to the S as your eyes kind of follow it.
Well, no one saw that.
On the contrary, Sir Salda.
Okay.
Quite impressive you lodged into the wall, however.
You have 4 more, you said. Yes, you still have time? Why not keep throwing?
Are we willing to face a 50% javelin loss over this? Maybe. That thing's strangled.
Unless someone thinks that they're more likely to hit, perhaps with a spell.
I am not a spellcaster. I just have a crossbow.
Looks at Sir Thon.
Oh, yeah, no, that makes sense. The man who created light. Yep, sorry. Rourke puts his hand up.
Yes, hit the dark orb with the light spell. Makes sense to me.
A little too much sense. Francis is going to step up beside Sherrilyn and Harkin, patting Harkin on the side as he walks, past him to get an angle on him. And looking at the orb, he is going to cast Guiding Bolt on it.
Yeah, roll me to hit.
That is a nat 20.
It's like he was built for this.
As the radiant energy hits the orb, you all hear the sound of a sucking in, and then a few seconds pass of just complete silence, and then the sound of an explosion as the orb pulses out in 60 feet with this dark necrotic energy. I need everybody to make me a con saving throw.
Damn it.
Well, I was onto something with hitting it.
Unfortunately, it kind of backfired.
Okay, con save.
Francis would have a 12.
I used my inspiration to re-roll that. It's now going to be a 17 total.
13 for Inara.
17 also for Plato.
And the horse needs it as well, I'm assuming. Gosh, okay. Okay. Harkin gets an 11. How many rolls do I have to do? Okay, I'm just going to do 7 rolls and then apply them as you will. Okay, 14. 5. Nat 20 plus 1. A 19. A 14. How many was that? 5? 7. And a 16.
5, 7, and 2 14s are the lowest 4 there.
DC is 12.
Damn.
So 2 failures.
2 failures. Nora, would you like to roll for Leilani, or would you like me to?
I can do it. That's fine. Would it be a straight roll for her?
Yeah. Plato, would you like me to roll for Mikkel, or would you like to?
I'll roll for Mikhail.
15 for Leilani.
I got a 13 on the die for Mikhail.
They're hurt, but Mikkel and Leilani are still alive. As this necrotic pulse spikes out across the field, it does 14 points of necrotic damage to those who fail, as 2 of your horses are just withered away. As the necrotic energy pulses through them, you see them age rapidly and decay. It looks very familiar, the effect, as they lock into place, bone and rust. Leilani and Mikkel look very, very hurt. Rourke is barely standing, single-digit HP. As is necrotic pulse, the orb looks bigger. It seems to be glowing.
Do we get half damage if we succeed?
Yeah, it was 14, so it'd be half to 7.
Right, so hitting it is not the solution, even with Radiant.
We need to leave here.
Wait. Maybe we should stay here for a little bit and rest. It's the sunlight. I mean, obviously the orb is bad, but I am very, very hurt. I don't think I can take another attack like this, and the shadows don't seem to respond well to the sun.
This is a good idea. I am just afraid.
Yes, this is a good space for a brief respite.
A short rest.
We just had to not touch the orb, I guess. It seemed responsive to that. I don't understand what happened.
Neither do I. I will think about it, I suppose, once I am less close to death. Everyone, we should stay inside the cart, close to each other, within eyesight, shadows in view.
The 2 horses that failed, are they still alive?
No, they're gone.
No. Their
Incinerated,
bodies
if you will.
Did someone pick which ones from the horse list? Oh, I'm sorry, Sherrilyn.
Yes, I did.
Who's gone?
Alabaster and Pearl.
Not Pearl.
There were 2 of our riding horses that were pulling the cart at that time.
If Leilani or Mikkel failed that roll, they were dead.
Oh, I'm so happy.
That would have been bad.
Sherrilyn slides off Harkin's bag and goes to these 2 fallen horses. And her hands are floating over them. And then her fingers curl into fists. What do we do with them? We can't just leave them as they are. They're still hitched up to the cart and everything also. So the other horses that are around them are kind of like pulling as they're uncomfortable with the tension.
Did they decay away like the people outside the feast, or are they just dead horses?
So even the people outside the feast were decayed statues. They still look like themselves. They were just aged and kind of locked into place, and like they had been there hundreds of years, like just instantly. As the necrotic energy pulses through them, they just like their whole body decays and ages, but they're physically still standing there.
Just have to unhook some.
Sherrilyn would go about starting to do that. Her jaw is tight. She's got nothing much more to say about it other than she feels responsible for the decision that led to their loss.
Traveled through passages of strange and powerful dark magic. We could not have known. You could not have known. We know not to do it again. His voice is hoarse from the strangling, and the screaming, and the throwing up earlier. Very hoarse all around. And not just because I have a cold.
She would finish unhitching these horses that are decrepit and frozen in time now, and resituate the ones that are still hitched up so that they are sensically aligned to continue pulling. And at this point, there's only 3 horses that would be pulling this cart. And once she was finished, then she would go to take a rest, leant up the side of the cart, I think.
Yeah, when Sherrilyn disembarked on Harkin, I think Inara would have followed, but she would have quick stepped past her and immediately gone to check on her sister, seeing how hurt she was, and also recognizing this sort of damage from what we saw at the feast, realizing that this is the second time she has gone through this fear of wondering if her sister has been affected or taken by this dark power. And I think you said she looked really hurt. So she would immediately cast Healing Word on her sister as she softly runs her hand over her forehead and mumbles under her breath.
Yeah, she's like really, really gaunt and kind of holding herself up, barely able to breathe.
And she'll regain 5 hit points. Yep.
She's stable for sure. How's that? As she takes it in, what does this look like? Is it a potion? Does your hands glow?
I would say her hands seem to glow, the palm of her hand specifically, and that as she places it on Leilani's forehead, it seems to transfer, like almost absorbed by Leilani's skin and fade away within as she takes a deep breath.
Right. Everybody, as you take your short rest, please feel free to have conversation, but please also feel free to roll your hit die. Mikkel and Leilani are going to do that, as well as Rourke. Also, throughout the course of this short rest, you feel any strength taken from you return to your form completely, and you can restore your strength score to its starting place.
Good.
Thank goodness.
As I feel my strength returning, I will help Rourke and Mikhail to one of the cots.
I rolled a 5, which is 5 plus 2 for my hit die, so I regained this exact 7 points that I lost.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. Max efficiency.
I think I know how to break the curse.
Plato has a plan.
Call him Planto.
No.
No.
Yeah, not a lot of nicknames you can do with Plato. Plates is sort of weird.
Key dog. No.
No. I'm jealous of Sherrilyn has Sherry, and it's such an easy little nickname.
Yeah.
You know, when characters start using nicknames with each other, eventually, a long time down the road, when we're all very, very close friends. I guess, and this means at Inara and Francis's wedding, the inevitable wedding.
Still can't see it.
Well, you can't see, so.
Shut the fuck up. Okay? You literally blinded me.
Isn't it ironic?
Oh, would you rather I have left yours alone?
I could have handled it.
You.
I'm very capable. Never mind the various horrible things that have happened to my character and the amount of times that my character has hit 0 HP. Okay, I'm very capable. Thank you.
The number of wounds and scars currently apparent across your body,
Don't.
and also the marks of curses.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like a fucking fish out of water when you go back home.
That's cute, thinking that I'm gonna have a home to go back to.
Yeah,
It's still gonna be a home.
Imagine explaining yeah, we can liberate your country from its evil cult rulers and have, I don't know, someone else rule over it. Someone cool. Someone people think is like the voice of the Watcher. I wonder.
Shanley, know anyone like that?
Not a clue.
Plato's not going to stop until we've cooed each one of your countries. That's why I want Diana.
Excuse you, you leave Diana alone, okay?
No,
I don't like
she's
how excited you are about her.
She's too important.
Yeah, that Plato wants Diana.
Come on.
Okay, we all know that's not how it is.
Yeah, I
okay.
love seeing what a move that would be. I saw you in Sherrilyn's visions and fell in love immediately, Diana.
I heard a description from a drug-crazed vision. I love you.
And I knew it had to be you.
I mean, she is beautiful, but you fuck off with that, alright?
I feel like not really Plato's type in a lot of, but we'll see. Maybe she's very kind.
I mean, yeah, I would say she probably is very kind.
You know, we were warned about the Cursed Oasis. Maybe I should have taken the word cursed more seriously.
I mean, we also were hoping to cure your blindness.
And that is appreciated.
Yeah, I sort of thought that, like, maybe we could gather water from the oasis to maybe help cure it, but it seems like going anywhere near that would be the worst.
This is the river in Mirkwood situation, I think, so I think no touchy is probably better.
There is an unusual quiet, I feel like, among this group in the first couple of minutes of this long or short rest, as everyone's kind of recovering either their strength or their health here. The other horses all kind of spook. The horses themselves are all going to take a short rest. I'll let them regain their horse HP just in case if no one else does, I think Work breaks the silence. Like, I'm a very curious bird. I have to know. Did you all hear her too?
Hear whom?
My sister.
How would we know it was your sister?
The young child's voice, in the direction I was going for. I don't know how I fell for it. She would be an adult now. She was taken so long ago, but once Plato was in my head, I thought about it, and I was like, yes, she wouldn't sound like a child, but it sounded just like her. You all heard it too?
No,
What did you hear?
I heard something else, but it is not bad that you hoped she was still alive.
You see his face kind of drop for a second. He hadn't thought she was dead.
Sorry, I mean, I don't know the nature of the curse. What I heard was a death, which the last time I heard drove me into the sluice until recently for the feast.
As did I. The deceased person part, that is also what I heard. But likely a different person, as you do not know the person whom I heard, as I did not hear the person whom Rourke heard.
Inara, Francis, did you recognize the voices?
Inara looks down. Yes, they were my friends. They were like sisters, and we lost them at the feast. And she holds out her hand for her sisters.
Leilani grasps your hand and kind of does like a hand hug as she pulls it closer to her. Who was it, Honor? As she looks at you.
It was Maria and her girls. They accompanied us to the feast, but they were out with the rest of the group. I found them after we made it out of the hall.
She hugs you tight. Work turns to Francis. How about you?
Francis looks kind of like uncomfortable hearing like all the other voices that everyone heard, and he's gonna say, "Oh, it's just someone who was very close in my family that passed away shortly before we left for the peace meet."
Voices of the dead for all of us.
Inara will pull out of her sister's. She'll pull out of her sister's arms, and recognizing which direction Rourke was pointing to, she's like, but my voices were coming from back where we came from, and she points north, was it?
Yes.
We're headed south, right? Like we're moving in the south direction.
I was thinking about that actually. I look sort of northward and then back at the S, and think of the news, and I say, I actually don't know that we are headed south. Well, I suppose we are, but it has. I have been wondering. Earlier written out by that Dragonborn news, yes, NEWS. But this is not the way a cartographer, a map maker would draw these. It is not in the compass order. North, east, south, and west is correct. So perhaps it is a message instead. An order. And this is the last one, not the first.
So you are suggesting that we follow the directions in the reverse order?
Well, if the Dragonborn was delivering us a message, it means that we should go north first, east next, west, and then south. I mean, if we are doing whatever, the Dragonborn died with the blood.
Are there any more like visible sigils or like carvings in the area?
No, not near here. Just this carving labeling this orb as S, and the kind of beautiful sunken architecture around you. No other carvings kind of call attention. I will also say, Francis, with your passive perception, as the short rest goes on, it's very, very gradual and minimal, but your light does begin to fade as whatever curse affixes this land is slowly reclaiming it.
Well, perhaps there are more, if not the same, carvings and letters scattered about this structure around here, but whatever the case may be, we do not have long to stay in this one place.
I mean, if we wanted to cleanse it here, to maybe undo the curse on our party members, there could be a key to that. But yes, perhaps it is best to just continue forward if we are already. How far are we along the cursed oasis?
Not really particularly far. I'd say a few hundreds of feet having passed the tree and entered the part of it that becomes the sunken ruins that kind of make up the actual oasis itself. You're probably about a third of the way through.
Phil, maybe just if we come across the one near the end, if we could discover that one, and try and do something to it. Maybe at least that. I see it would be troublesome to perhaps double back and over again, since south, east, west, these are all opposite directions from one another.
We have no way of knowing how long ago it was that the Dragonborn became deceased, or what became of him. We could suspect it was these shadows that came upon us and tried to claim Rourke when Rourke had wandered, but perhaps he knew something that we did not, and that was why he came here. Think you may be onto something, Mr. Ardavian.
He at least painted it with the last blood of his body. And I can't help but notice that, Francis, it seems almost as if you are built to purify this place. It reacts so violently to your radiant magic.
Sherrilyn eye rolls.
Do not put me on such a high pedestal, Sardavian. It is simply a matter of fact that light beats back the darkness.
Eye rolls. More?
Well, maybe we should continue onward and try to make our way north as best we can. We should not be separated from one another. I believe that was the purpose of the voices, since they all seem to be coming from different directions.
Yes, well, now that we're aware that we're all experiencing this same affliction, or had experienced the same affliction, then we know better. We will stay together.
Does anyone have any wax for ears? Beeswax.
Leilani speaks up. Surely Inara does. I've seen her open her bag before. There's so much shit in there.
Yeah, Inara's already pawing through her bag because I feel like that's just something that she would have to make certain things. And she does pull out some, like a chunk of processed beeswax, I guess, that she starts to knead and break off. Perhaps we should at least keep one ear open. We need to be able to communicate with each other, unless we want to move back and stay close to the cart, she says, looking over to Sherrilyn.
I have to say, none for me, my lady. I already have trouble seeing. I fear if I stuff anything into my ears, I might be completely useless.
I will take some, so thank you. But you're right, I'll just keep it in one ear, and if anything terrible comes upon us, pop, I'll cover the other one.
She will hand 2 pieces to Rourke and goes, I think maybe you should try and avoid any more painful memories.
Plato, do you think my sister is dead?
I do not know. Unfortunately, my vision of this is clouded by death because of what I heard.
Last I heard, she was sold into the Eriday house. I was hoping that she would find her way out. Perian is large and desolate. I wasn't going to try and search the country for her since slavery stopped. I thought maybe she'd find her way to one of our existing family members in Disraeli. I hadn't considered the possibility that she had passed. Could you find out for me when we get back?
Of course, the Eriday make their homes in the center of Perian, the highlands, where it is difficult to reach. But I can, of course, make contact with them.
Thank you.
They are one of the 4 principal houses. 3. One of the 3 principal houses.
He kind of offers a soft smile and then puts the earwax in his ears.
Yes, with this tense conversation, Sherrilyn reaches into her saddlebag and says, might I offer another alternative to stuffing our ears? And you see her pull out the wand of conducting again and begins waving it in the air as they begin moving.
So you are just surrounding yourself with this loud orchestra music as you storm through. Amazing. Just amazing. Yeah, as you all continue north, having taken your short rest, recovered whatever resources you recover on a short rest, and continued forth, riding alongside this water, you see as your vision continues coming into view 40 feet at a time here, the waterway stops as it rises to an even platform, and you all see a mostly intact, large central plaza space. There is an object, it seems like a ball, like a coiled ball, floating in the dead center of this space. It is true darkness. And in fact, any light that seems to hit it, it is the darkest black that you can see. And it's not even. There's ridges, and it's not perfectly smooth. And it's quite large, and it just floats there as the 2 pathways formed into one, large enough for you to bring the cart through. There is even for those who haven't detected evil or good before, there is an assaulting presence, an evil, dark presence emanating from whatever this is.
You said it's in the center of this room. Does it look similar to the orb that we saw in the river?
It's larger. The orbs were this purple glowing color. This feels different for sure.
This must be the central orb, the Uber orb. Look, it's the 4 pathways away from it.
And after the damage the last one dealt to us, I think perhaps we should not assail this one.
At least not until we know that it is safe to just get rid of it.
Yeah, I look around. There's not any ends around here, is there? Any big red ends?
No. But as you look around, and again, it just kind of takes your eyes adjusting as you move through this space. There are many, many corpses.
Inara will actually walk around it, maintaining a safe distance. But as she studies the pathways steering off in each direction, she looks back at the direction they're coming from and goes, "Well, if that one was south, could it be that we have to destroy them, the outside orbs, in a certain order before we could deal with this one?"
Destroys the outer beacons before we take out the Faza orb. That sounds scientifically sound. Could I maybe roll an Arcana, I'm not very insightful, but maybe an insight or an intelligence of check of some type to see if that?
Yeah, Arcana's totally fair.
Yeah, like a magical theory roll.
It's just a theory.
It's just a theory. It doesn't matter. We 13 plus 2. Oh,
So 15?
okay. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you think about this for a little while. You've read books. Perian itself is a ritualistic society. This is old magics, so you haven't really read something specifically like this before. But as you think about it, the word anchor comes to mind, like the idea of holding something somewhere, and the idea of cursing this much land and area, and holding this curse as you see the sun itself be defied by this magic, as you look up and take it in. It definitely seems like those previous orbs are powering the corpse, and you definitely think you both are onto something. You think maybe it is just thinking through magical theory. A couple come to mind, that maybe they're maintained in a certain order or placed in a certain order, but something about the ritual of this requires them to be affected. You definitely, with that roll with a 15, think that there's more than one, that the thing you saw wasn't a strong enough source to continue to cover this land, that there probably is 4 of them. And with that logic, you think Inara's probably onto something, that destroying them in a certain order for some reason will undo the curse they've set on this land.
I scratch my chin and then look at Inara. I think you've got it. If we do it according to how the Dragonborn said, north, east, west, south. And it might be easier to do the traveling since this here is a central crossroads, so wading through the corpses seems bad.
Maybe we could also leave the horses.
Oh, I don't want to leave anything close to this.
It'll be easier to move if it's just us, and maybe Leilani and Mikhail can stay behind.
Although this is a place full of corpses, and Francis's magic couldn't hold in the other location. The shadows want us separated. I think we unfortunately must all travel together.
As cumbersome
She sees
as
the
it will
logic,
be.
yeah. She sees the logic in what you're saying, but she really wanted to try and keep her sister out of harm's way. So she's not happy about it, but she nods.
Right. Well, north is where it seems like we're going anyway, so let's see if we can at least see what happens when we undo this, I think, a magical anchor. You would need many to curse or deconsecrate an area of this mass. I wonder why someone would want it cursed.
If we are passing through the center of this area, I think when they are near the center is when she would try to use her divine sense again and reach inside of her to see where this overwhelming, the source of this overwhelming dread.
Yeah. That orb in the middle immediately reeks of evil. This is an aberration. It's not a source of power or a thing that's deconsecrating like the orb was. It is a living being. This is a coiled mass of something. It seems inert in this moment as it floats there. But this is a monster. This is an aberration that exists in this space, in the center of these orbs.
She has been coming into this power ever since her contact with Diana outside of the forest. She's been coming to hear this sound, and her insightfulness comes to her in the form of these whispers on the edge of her mind. And when she focuses on them, that is how she draws power, radiant power, magical power, into her hands. So as they draw closer to this evil artifact that has this similar type of energy that she senses, she gets as close as she would feel comfortable getting to it before she would feel the weight and the pressure of this evil presence drawing her to a stop. And she tries to listen to it in the same way that she would listen to the Watcher.
Give me an insight check.
13.
There's a vibration to this evil, a purpose. And with a 13, it's muddy, but what comes to you is maintenance. That this creature's purpose is maintenance.
Like perhaps as if to keep this area in a specific state of being. As in to keep it depressed, perhaps.
I'll even say you feel directly the sort of these vibrations in the air. I'll with your divine sense, they kick in for a second. There are these purple ley lines in the air that are connected to this creature and then extend in the 4 cardinal directions from it.
Does the creature have form, or is it just a shadowy being like the others were?
Do you touch it?
No. She's not going to touch it.
As you look it over, it definitely has a physical mass and form. Dense, rigid, spiked in places, almost reptilian.
Bipedal, like the Dragonborn that we saw deceased earlier?
I mean, right now it's all just kind of coiled up in a ball, but you don't know where there'd be legs.
Just darkness, yeah.
More
Yes.
serpentine, probably.
Yes, she takes the time to try and not attune with this thing, but to come to an understanding of it before she'd stand away from it. Did she get any other readings on her divine sense in the area?
No. Yeah, I mean, this land is still definitely deconsecrated. I actually think you see 4 different areas of deconsecrating, all overlapping on the center here. But outside of that, no.
I think passing through this area will be as safe as it could be, she says to the rest of the party. I think we should pursue this plan.
And you are certain that whatever this being is in the middle will not cause us any harm in the interim?
No. She chuckles along with that. No, I am not certain of anything. But the state that this creature is in, I can see that its power is connected to these other spaces of desecration.
Well, luckily there are 4 places of desecration, so if we undo one and it seems like it is freeing the creature, we can just stop. And if we undo one and it seems like it is clearing up the oasis or something, we can keep going. Huh?
We pass back through here on our way to the next. We can check on it, as Mr. Ardavian says.
And I mean, Inara, the Dragonborn nomads, they are normally to be trusted, right? I mean, if one died to try and send this message, that would be, I mean...
I would certainly place my trust in a message from one of the nomads.
I will also say, as you look around, the corpses littering are all completely Dragonborn nomads. There are at least 9, 10 to the count throughout this courtyard.
It was more than him that gave his life.
Looking down at all of them, she goes, it's their duty to maintain the oasis of the desert. They safeguard them to honor the desert, but also to secure the way for travelers in these lands. Clearly, they have not given up on this.
Then I will trust that. And yes, northward.
You all continue forward north. Everyone together, right? The cart, everything?
Yeah, I mean, I think to the point that we're trying to cast no human shadows. Like, as many people can be inside the cart and not creating shapes that a human thing could hide in, you know? I think that's our security policy.
I love this. Let's go ahead and do a group stealth check to see how effective we are at it, at like positioning our bodies in ways that make sense to that end.
This is going to be fun.
We all know how Sherrilyn does on stealth checks.
Doing shadow puppets with our bods, kind of, to match up.
16 for Francis.
11 for Sherrilyn.
21 for Inara.
Only a 7 on the die for me, so 10 total.
That's a nat 20 from Leilani.
Go, girl.
17 from Rourke. Oh, plus 3. So dirty 20. And then a 12 plus 1 from Mikkel for 13.
We all acquit ourselves all right.
Yeah, as you all continue forward north, you don't hear any voices. You actually hear the sounds of water. As you continue through this oasis, it's all kind of flat land, paved over this kind of sunken ruin. You travel unbothered for quite a bit, 10 minutes, 15 minutes of walking across this path, the sound of water getting louder and louder as the purple light begins to fade into view. You see there's this large pool kind of at the end of the oasis here, and the purple orb sits directly in the center of this large pool of water. I will also say, past this pool of water is these two paths that go directly downward, and you can see very visibly the edge of the end of this orb's effect as you see the daylight return and this vast valley beneath. And very clearly in the distance, you see not far at all from the edge of this oasis as it begins to descend again into the Dune Sea. These large fields, these groves. In the distance, it's hard to make it out. You think maybe orange groves? And these large fields of agave and cacti plant, all cultivated around this little building that seems to glow in the distance in the daylight. In the far distance beside that, it is completely outlined by the cliffs of Perian. In the far, far distance, the riverways that seek and combine Perian and Luxoria are not far in the distance. You could leave this oasis now, skirt the sides of the pathline here, avoid the magics, and just continue forth on your journey if you so choose.
The line of where it is becomes unaffected again. How far is that from the anchor? I would like to leave the cart, Leilani and Mikhail and the horses 60 feet from the anchor, or as far as I can eyeball it. That was the effective radius last time. And I'm trying to figure out if it's easier to send them through or to have them stop here as we try and approach it.
So it is 600 feet of darkness coming off of it. Yeah.
So can we leave them like a ways back here then as we approach? I hate breaking up though. It might be tough.
Depending on who is taking the shot on this thing, so to speak, then at least 2 of us should remain together at all times. Buddy system, if you will.
Yes, and I unfortunately have no radiant magic of any kind. So I think that means, Sherrilyn, Francis, do either of you have things that can damage radiantly?
The orb begins to sink into the water.
Oh no! Someone shoots the orb!
You see it falls, it's
Not
very
kidding.
quick as it kind of falls in. The purple radiating off of it, filling the water completely, but it is now just underneath the surface of the water. Very, very quickly.
Francis, go. You're the only one. Well, she doesn't have any radiant.
Does anyone have a bow?
I think we need to specifically do radiant damage. That's what the other
Yes.
one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does anyone have a bow? She asks.
I might have a hand crossbow.
I could imbue the bolts with radiant damage, but that is about as much as I can do for you, besides perhaps losing another javelin.
A dagger. She holds out a dagger. The one she had before she got the dagger of venom. So if you imbue this, maybe one of us can toss it, can throw it at this.
I mean, I think of all the things. I don't know how much damage we would have to do to it.
Do any of our NPC companions have a bow and arrow?
I have a hand crossbow.
Perfect.
Hand it here.
He hands it over. It's just a very special hand crossbow to me. Please don't hurt it or lose it or
She's already in the
damage it.
middle of loading it. She's casting divine favor on herself again as she holds it up and tries to take a shot at this orb. Now, how far are we from the orb? I think that she would only take the shot if she knew they were out of range of what the last one did, which I think was 60 feet. Guesstimated.
So this pool of water is about 120 feet radius-wise.
So this is doable. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you're standing outside of the water, I'm guessing.
Yes.
So it's a 240-foot wide pool of water, of sitting water at the end of this oasis.
Hold on, I just have to check what a hand crossbow's range is. Okay, I think it would just barely be within range. Its maximum range is 120. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
So literally standing on the edge of the water. Yes, she could take the shot. And she will take the shot
Huh.
at this orb as it is sinking.
It's going to be a disadvantage.
I'm already not great at shooting
Can
ranged
I
weapons.
can I cast Fairy Fire on it?
Yeah, I will say the area around it is very dark. The only reason you're able to see it at all is because it itself emits light, so that it's breaking through the dark vision.
Never mind, 60 feet of range. Never mind.
You could get in the water. Hop in that water, Francis.
It's nice and refreshing.
Get in that gross stew.
Yeah, I can already tell you, unless someone will negate that disadvantage, it's not going to hit, because the disadvantage, it's only going to be a 4 to hit. So
I think his hand will quickly, like, you see him just, like, tap your hand up.
Help action.
Yeah, as he gets the help action, as he, like, kind of repositions your hand, thinking that it doesn't shoot straight, really. It's my special bow. As he kind of adjusts your hand very quickly, giving you...
nudges the elbow.
That just cancels the disadvantage. So what was your first roll?
17.
Fortunately, 17 does not hit, as the crossbow
Damn.
bolt falls into the water, radiating just a bit, dispersing.
Wow.
Damn it. Rourke, you threw off my shot.
Okay, so wait, is this enchantment just on the cross? I am already cursed. I will just go right in that water, and I can just shoot it point blank if that makes
It's any
easier.
weapon that I am holding, Rourke.
Unfortunate. Can't share your divine magics.
Do you want to try another javelin, maybe?
Just shoves the hand crossbow back at Rourke. Useless thing.
He kisses it. I missed you.
Sorry, I'm just checking ranges because this is so far to throw things.
Well, Guiding Bolt is 120 feet, so...
This guiding bolt could do it if you...
Why haven't you done that, Sir Thon?
Let's see what other options we had.
I'll still
will-
try and throw this javelin. It is, again, 120 feet range, so I could still try and land another shot. All right, one more time we try. Is this also a disadvantage?
I mean, he's not going to be giving me the help action again. He's kissing his
All right.
his hand crossbow.
I'm not
but
sure
I
how
can
you
only
would
speak
help.
for work.
Guys wouldn't help us, would it?
Yeah.
I,
It applies to attack rolls.
I get on a knee in front of Sherrilyn, sort of facing away from her like Mad Max does in front of Furiosa, so that she can lean the hand crossbow on my shoulder as my help action.
Javelin.
Javelin. Whatever.
Yeah.
That'll be straight roll.
Oh no. Okay. So, you guys, you can't make this shit up. I rolled a 2 plus 2 for a 4, and then on the guidance I only rolled 1. So we're still single digits, and the javelin is just gonna flip and just disappear in the water.
Too bad about the
The
javelin.
water is deeper than you think, as the javelin completely disappears from view as it sinks in, short of the orb.
All right, Sarthon, why don't you blow us away with your radiant magical abilities?
Francis, if you want to, I don't know, put your arm on my shoulder and aim it like a sniper, and I'll help action you also.
Just keep just help me point in the right direction for it. And yeah, Francis is going to cast Guiding Bolt. 23.
That'll definitely hit. As Francis, your guiding bolt courses across the river, and like Star Wars, just drops directly down as a second or two passes. As again, the same sound occurs, the kind of shockwave as it absorbs, and then a second or two passes, and the same effect happens as it explodes outward. However, this time, instead of dispersing this dark magic, it disperses light. As you watch the curse be completely cleansed from the southern border of this oasis, as the N orb is completely destroyed. You see on the back, behind the orb on the oasis, from the other perspective, you can see an N carved into the wall there. It's pretty small. As the orb itself explodes in this light, as 600 feet in all directions, coming behind you as well, clearing your path back to the middle. Bright daylight as the sound of the birds and wildlife of Luxoria return as you end the curse to this part of the oasis.
For fuck's sakes.
Sorry, Cheryl.
Who are you?
One hell of a holy man.
Maybe we should start with you next time.
Everyone to have their fair shot at it.
Let us all
Cheryl's
hope.
sagging her shoulders.
Let us all hope that somewhere on the planet we can all find our oasis we are meant to uncurse.
Or not. I mean, this is rather dangerous.
Yes, I Rourke speaks up. I also think maybe or not. I think that might be the distillery down there. Maybe we should go to the distillery. Yes, I see it kind of when I focus my eyes.
No, we have 3 more that we need to, and we now have confirmation that this works.
Yeah.
Need is a strong word, yes?
But Rourke is onto something. We are on a quest of urgency, and the way out is right there. And
Right there. They're
So
both pointing. Sherrilyn and Rourke are pointing together.
So Stalda, do you want to have any chance of getting your eyesight back?
yes, I suppose that is probably necessary for.
I know priests who will cure that thing for like 5 gold pieces in Natos Rally. Just saying, that is my intent. Not to talk you all out of your heroics again, but you know.
Francis is going to look at Rourke and like have like a very just like deadpan look at him and be like, then you can go. No one is stopping you.
His eyes kind of spark up with an idea. Yes, no. Yes, Leilani and Mikhail, they are not trained soldiers like the rest of us, yes? I can take them, perhaps to the distillery? Go ahead. Yes?
Yes, maybe, and you could take the horses with you.
Maybe that is a better idea.
And do not sell them, Rourke. Mind to be understood. You will not sell the remainder of our horses.
He in response to that, he pulls up his pant sleeve and shows a nimbus tattoo, which is will you describe for me, Plato?
What is that? A butt?
No, it's a sort of a simple cloud symbol, like 1, 2, and then sort of nestled in the middle section, straight down, is a lightning bolt. It's pretty simple. It can be drawn in dust on door jambs, or it can be easily sprayed or scratched into something, so it's not particularly complex.
Tattooed,
yes.
As he shows this to you, to be like, take me a little more seriously, please. In response to Rourke, Leilani says, Inara is not a trained soldier, by the way. I do not know where you got that from. She's just like, she does like alchemy. She has a lab, but she should probably come with us to the distillery too, right?
Inara looks over to her sister, and with one raised eyebrow goes, unlike you, I can take care of myself just fine, and I have proven so repeatedly since we've started this journey. You, however, cannot be trusted around most substances. And then she'll look to Ord, about to say something about her choice in men, but then be like, this was her mom's decision, not her sister's, and takes a deep breath and just goes, just go with Rourke, so I don't have to worry about you in the middle of all this.
Yes, also, I am like almost completely blind in the light right now, and my horse is too, so maybe also help lead a little, Leilani. Mikhail?
Getting a damnable headache.
Put your blindfolds back on.
I'm bringing the cart, right?
It is just Grizzly and Hawkins that we are keeping.
Perfect. Okay, sorry, I cannot see. All right. The distillery is obviously right there among those groves, not that far in the distance. Just we'll meet you there. Please, everybody, stay alive. He walks over to Plato, who he thinks is Plato. It is Plato, probably pretty easy to recognize, and goes for a clap the back hug.
Yes, I receive him awkwardly. You see, I go in wrong at first, when you think you're going for a handshake. It's a little awkward, but then I do manage to synchronize, and I say, take care of them, all right? And we will meet you at the distillery as quickly as we can. It seems we want to make this place less cursed.
Inara looks absolutely shocked, not just that Plato allowed someone to touch him, but that he, awkwardly or not, hugged him back. She is jaw dropped, eyes wide, just...
Well, Rourke has become very dear to me. I don't know.
Rourke says, keep a weather eye, and he winks as he gets back on his horse.
Well, that was embarrassing to hardly see.
You mean amazing. There's hope for him yet? And she claps her hands together.
Mikhail says, please, all of you, you've come so far to die here. Take no unnecessary risks.
I'm sorry, have you met us?
Just make sure you keep my sister safe.
Yes, we will keep your sister safe. Am I allowed to drink when we get there, or...?
I'm not your father.
Okay.
Or your mother.
Could have fooled me.
He puts his hands up as he goes to lead the horses. Any other words before they begin moseying over on their way to the distillery? Further south into the Luxorian desert?
I'd like to get back into this magical shade as soon as possible.
I just wave my hand after them, and I say, be safe, we'll do our best, but if we mess up, we'll follow you.
It is not that reassuring, Rourke says back. So Plato, are you abroad, Grizzly?
I suppose so at this point. I have gotten on top of Grizzly, since I am sort of passively also always working on my horsemanship and cartsmanship now. Not how I thought it would be, but good skills to have.
Perfect. As we see the rest of your adventuring party, besides the four of you and your two horses, kind of go off into the desert here, down the gentle sloped plains leading to the groves below. What are we all doing? As we are gathered, kind of a new silence set in, interrupted only by an occasional bird or movement among the sand.
Well, we have gotten ourselves an N of the news that has been provided to us by the Dragonborn Code. Next, I believe we should head east. If we are committed to this course of action, I look around at everyone like, are we committed to this course of action, purifying this place? After all, it has been mentioned, it is not our core goal.
It should be and is the responsibility of everyone that travels the desert to keep the oasis safe and pure. I do not feel right walking away from this place as it is.
I would like to restore my eyesight, so if there is a chance that this will do that, then here I am. And Sir Thon was quite insistent that we'd fix this issue.
And Nara points to Sherrilyn and goes, yeah, that too.
Yes, Sir Thorn, it does seem like you are the particular tool for this job, so, what shall we do? Back to the crossroads where all the dead Dragonborns are, or head directly east from here?
Well, assuming that it is all centered around that central area, then the natural course is to head east from there. And the quicker we do so, the better, so that we don't spend any more time in this forsaken place.
Suppose that is safest. The way back now is all clear, I suppose, since we have destroyed this previous orb. So yes, let's head back to where that terrible aberration is sitting in the middle of the corpse pile.
I should mention that while I am totally in favor of this plan, there is not much I can do to help you. And she's looking straight at Francis to let him know, like, it's gonna be all on you, bro.
Francis just nods at this and is like, I understand that it falls heavily to me to attack and destroy these orbs, so if I could rely on you, as I have in the past, to clear the way, so to speak, in case we run into anything else, that would be much appreciated.
It's fair. Not all of us can be glowing, magical people meant to destroy shadows. Inara and I will have to satisfy ourselves with taking care of the grunts.
Oh, you are considering me one of the people capable of destroying these orbs. I will remind you that I missed the last one several times.
Mm-hmm. Maybe the next one won't be 60 feet away. Yeah.
We'll chalk that up to your hampered eyesight.
Yes, thank you. That is gracious.
What is our marching order as we head back to the central plaza that kind of makes up the most remaining of the architecture here?
Back to the hate orb. I'm going to call it the hate orb.
I know normally I would take the lead, but I can't see as well as I usually can, even though it is dark. I mean, I could take the lead if you'd like me to.
Would it make you feel better?
Would it make you feel more secure, Sir Thon?
Yes, actually. I will hop off Grizzly and lead him by the sort of front so that I can keep him calm if I need to. And I can sort of go ahead and lead the group, keep a weather eye out. I don't know who was on Grizzly with me. I know we kept 2 horses because we needed 2 to ride back on.
I'm assuming it's still the same guys and girls.
Gendered horses.
Except Grizzly is a girl horse.
So who's leading?
I am leading Grizzly, who I guess Francis is on the back of.
Yeah, so it'd be myself and Plato in the lead, with Sherrilyn and on Huyken behind us.
Yeah, Sherrilyn is letting Hawken doing most of the navigating because of the blindness.
He's a trustworthy animal.
Yeah, it does remain bright here. Again for 600 feet as you all head towards the center location, heading towards each of these orbs. You see that the light actually extends almost till directly above the center of the plaza.
That makes sense, because when we cleanse them, this would be the convergence point.
As you see this kind of thick wall of shadowy mist in every other direction.
Sherrilyn's squeezing her eyes shut until they re-enter the shadows.
Well, I'll say when we re-enter the shadow, is it is there anything different to like the center orb or like the surrounding area other than the area that we cleansed?
Thank you. That's a great question. Yeah, the giant orb has become much larger, and you can see holes starting to crack through it, and it looks like it's beginning to uncoil. This mass seems to be slowly uncoiling.
This is Nada, but you may know me better as Inara. I want to thank you for joining us on this wild adventure. If you enjoyed being transported to the world of Boromina as much as I do, then please share our podcast with your own party members and friends. Thank you also to Dustin Goddard for our theme music and Julia Folkart for our cover art. Find the link to her Instagram account in our show notes. Thank you.